years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Live from Harlem in New York. Yes, hello everybody. This is the Ramble, and it goes until midnight tonight in the East Coast of the United States. And here I am back after quite a bit of time off, and not really 100%, but I just felt I had to come on tonight and do a show. Even though, it's not, as I say, I'm not 100%. Let me tell you what's happened to me. And also, we're going to start the show, although the promos still say 10 o'clock. Now I got to go change the promos. You know what I might do? I might start doing the show again at 10 and going till 11:30. Then I won't have to change the promos. I'd think about that, okay? Or maybe next week I'll go back on at 10 and then get off at 11:30, and maybe we can have Jack do his show a half hour earlier, something like that. Anyway. Let me see here. Are we okay? Are we on? And everything is going good. Let me see here. We got commercials going at the beginning of everything now. There we go. Skip ad. Okay, we're fine. All right, we're good. Okay, what do I have to tell you? We're going to go to the citizen panel sooner than we normally do. But I'm just trying this new thing out tonight. I'm just not 100%. And let me tell you, well, in case you don't know what's happened to me, and let me say, if I sound a little addlepated and a little out of sorts, it's because I have not returned to my normal state. All right. Here's what happened. On Tuesday, I went in for the second part of my prostate cancer regimen. The first part was giving me radiation therapy, which was bombarding my prostate with radiation for 5 different episodes, okay, every other day for about a week and a half. And then we waited about 2 weeks, and I was supposed to have this second part of my therapy, but then it got called off because the hospital, which is probably, in my opinion, the stupidest hospital in New York, which is Mount Sinai, forgot to order the stuff that my doctor needed in order to do the second procedure. Now, the second procedure is where they place radioactive seeds the size of a grain of rice into your prostate, like about 100 of them in various parts of the prostate. And then they send you home, and they say, the next day you'll be ready to go out and just do what you normally would do. Go to work, play golf. Playing golf was one of them. I now have this intense desire to play golf. Anyway, but it ain't that easy. First of all, I go there and I get set up and everything. Finally, I meet with the anesthesiologist and my doctor, and they're both there before the operation. And they say, okay, well, I'm your anesthesiologist, and he asks all the anesthesiologist questions like, did you eat anything today? If you drank too much water? If you had any coffee? Blah, blah, blah. And then he says, okay, well, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you a spinal. I thought I was going to be, they're going to put the needle in my arm, call it macaroni. I don't know. Put a needle in my arm and call it macaroni, and put me out. And then I wake up and they say, it's all over. See you later. All right? But no, he said he's going to do a spinal. And the reason they were going to do a spinal is because of my age. And I guess they were doing spinals on everybody that day, I think. I'm not sure. Now, I've never had a spinal, and the idea of sticking a needle in my spine kind of bothered me a great deal. as would probably you as well if you had never had a spinal before. So we get in there, and he says, "Okay, I'm going to administer the spinal. I'm sitting up." And he says, "Just be. There are going to be a couple of feels of little pinches. You know, they always say it's always going to pinch. You know, it's their deal. And they say a little bit of a pinch, and you know, and it hurts a little bit, but then he jabs me again. He jabs me about 4 times in my spine. It doesn't hurt. The first one hurt more than the second one, hurt more than the third one, hurt more than the fourth one. And then they have me lie down. And all of a sudden, my entire bottom half of my body is dead. And he says, and now to make your life even more fun, he says, I'm going to give you some intravenous Valium. So he puts the drip in my arm of intravenous Valium. And I got to tell you something, I actually like that better than getting high on the propofol, because that's only like for a brief second you get that high and then you're out. This, I'm awake, but I'm having a good time, and I'm really enjoying it. And since I'm dead below the waist, I'm not feeling anything. And what's interesting is I found out what you think, you have these movie images of what goes on in the operating room while an operation is going on. Sutures, scalpel, please mop my brow, that kind of thing, right? I'm hearing every word that's going on in that operating room, and it's things like, "So, what are you going to have dinner tonight? Have you seen any good movies lately? Hey, you still going out with that woman you've been going out with?" I mean, they're all having this little chat back and forth, and it was nothing like I expected would go on. They would say, "Oh, nurse, please, sutures, scalpel, blah 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 blah." No. But he's doing something down there, and I have no idea what he's doing. I have an idea of what he's doing. He's actually sticking needles into my perineum and then into the prostate, and then installing the said radioactive seeds. And then all of a sudden they say, "Okay, well, we're finished." And they take I think he took an X-ray of my prostate to see that the seeds were done okay. And he says, "Looks good." He says, "Okay, we'll send you down to recovery." Now, the worst part of this was the recovery. Now, I asked girlfriend, I said, "Look, the operation is at noon. They should be through by 1. I should be down in the recovery room by 1:30. So come about 1:30, okay?" But she's always there to get early, so she got there early and was waiting 2 hours before they actually brought her in to see me. And I couldn't get up till I did 2 things. Number one, that I could stand up on my own because the bottom half of my body wasn't working, and also be able to take a pee. And this is where I got really, really cranky, okay? Because now I'm feeling like, okay, now they put in a catheter into my bladder, so that I don't know, I would urinate through that while they were doing the procedure, and then after it was over, it was still in me, but they weren't going to remove it until I could move my knees, okay? So we had to wait for about an hour till my knees were working, and then she yanks out the catheter. And she says, "Okay, your bladder is empty. Start drinking water like crazy. You can't leave till you give me so much." Okay? She's got a little thing. So much. Okay? And I'm going, oh, God. So now I'm drinking water like crazy, hoping it will work really fast, because I want to get home. You know how what I'm saying when I say you feel better in your own bed, at home? All right. So I wondered about that, about feeling better in my own bed and what it would be like if I was just there. But all of a sudden, she's got me drinking so much water that all of a sudden my stomach is starting to hurt. I mean, really, I'm in pain. And I don't know why I'm in pain, but it's probably my bladder, and it's probably too filled up. And I said, I got to pee. And she says, "Well, you don't get out of the bed," because they've got these ankle things on my legs that are throbbing, I guess, to keep the circulation going in my legs. And then they've got what do you call it? A blood pressure cuff on this hand and a needle in this hand with a drip going into it, in which she is occasionally putting a painkiller because I'm having pains with my bladder. And I got really frustrated. I started screaming, "Get all these things off of me!" Because it was really making me feel like I was beginning to feeling coming back to the bottom part of my body. And my toes, I was starting to make my toes work. And I knew that I was getting, I was on the mend that way. I said, "I just want to go try and take a pee because it'll relieve the pain that I'm having." And she, "You can't do anything. We got to get you." And she's slowly taking all the stuff off of me. I mean, I was the worst patient ever, okay? But I was panicky because it was hurting and it was bothering me. And if nothing else in this entire procedure was hurting me as much as this filled bladder that wanted to urinate. And so finally she took all this stuff off of me, and one thing and another, and finally I'm free of all this stuff. And she said, "Okay, well, go and try." And I went in and tried, and it didn't come out at first. And then it started to come out a little bit, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and finally I got maybe that much. And I come out and I say, look, I went duty, And she goes, "Okay, you can go home." But wait a minute, you can't go right home. We have to wheel you down to the front desk. I'm going, will this never end? I just want to put my clothes on. I just want to get home and deal with this whole thing. And finally, I get out of there. But that was the worst part of the whole thing, was this getting out of there. I mean, I'm going, what if I never pee? Will they ever let me out of here? No, we'll just send you home with a catheter. By the way, I always thought a catheter was like, I don't know, like this, okay? I thought it was maybe like that, and then they put that in you, and then it drains your bladder. No, it's the size of a small garden hose. Yeah. And I didn't want to go home with one of those. So I was so glad when I peed, I went, good, I'm out of here. And the funny part is there were like 4 other people who had the same procedure I did. I think some did get anesthetic because they were up really fast, and others who were just in the same situation I was in. One of them had been there for 8 hours and hadn't peed yet, and finally peed, and he left. So I'm the only one left who hasn't peed yet. And I'm beginning to worry that I'm never going to be able to. And the anesthesiologist came in to say hi, and he said, "Don't worry, you're going to pee." And I did, and I left, and I don't have a catheter in me. But then, because I had the catheter in me, the first time I peed at home, it was like fire coming out of my duct, okay? Watch. They're gonna say non-monetizing for this, just simply because I'm talking about my operation. Anyway, and blood. Oh my God, blood. Oh, it was terrible. So for 2 days I'm doing blood, and it's hurting to pee. And then finally, I think what's today? Today's Friday, so Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday it hurt, and Thursday it kind of hurt less. And today it didn't hurt at all. But I do feel like I have to pee about once an hour, which is more than I have been. So if I'm doing this show tonight and you're talking and I have to go pee, I will just tell you to keep talking and I'll be right back and I'll go pee. But anyway, it was, and so now I'm radioactive. I've been radio all my life. That was being radioactive on some level, but this is on another level altogether. But I'm feeling better, and but I bet what I've been feeling, and the reason I haven't been on, and I'm doing this tonight against my better judgment, and who knows? I hope to be doing it on what is it? Tuesday. Tuesday. I hope to be doing it on Tuesday, but it's all dependent on something, because I've been feeling this incredible fatigue. I mean, where I would just rather, I don't even want to put my clothes on, right? I haven't been out of the house because I don't want to walk. I don't like walking to the kitchen and think about making myself some breakfast. All right, that's how fatigued I've felt, and I feel fatigued like that right now. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm sitting down, and that helps. And if you may notice, I'm a little loopy, you know. But they said the reason they didn't give me the other anesthetic is they didn't want me to be loopy for a week, and I'm loopy for days. But now there's one other thing, and I want to talk to him about it if he calls. I finally, for the first time in my life, know what it's like to be Patrick. You know, Patrick's a person who calls us all the time, and he's a paraplegic, and he is dead from the waist down. And I know, I mean, I got better, but I know what it's like. I know what it feels like that you can't move anything in that part of your body, no matter how hard you try. And so when Patrick calls tonight, I'm going to feel a certain fraternity with him, if he in fact calls at all. I don't know if he will or he won't. But anyway, what I'm going to do, and one of the reasons I'm going to, like, when we do interviews on the show now, they're going to be like 15 minutes instead of 25, except for Ronnie. Or she I will do for 25 minutes. I will do it so that we can get to the callers faster. So that's what I intend to do now. Let me open up the Skype lines. So it still hurts a little bit in my back where the needles were, and in my perineum where the other needles went. But it's all over, at least until a month from now when I go in for a CT scan, which they say is not for diagnostic purposes. It is simply for their records. So I guess they can see how it is. Okay, Skype has stopped bouncing up and down. Now will Skype go on? There we go. It's coming on, and we are here. Okay. All right. And now, here we go. I want to go active. There we go. And we're open. So if you want to call, we're ready to take your calls. And I'll be happy to answer any of your questions about my procedure. Whoops. Let's, who is this? Oh, it's Jeff. Jeff is the first caller tonight.
Hello
Let's
there.
see here. Was Jeff? Oh, yeah, Jeff already was last week. He was in the top spot. And so there he is again tonight. Let me just go here. And here comes Phil Meyer. He will probably pop in the bottom slot as soon as I. Wait a minute. Come on. Phil, did we lose Phil? We lost Phil. Oh, no, we got Phil. Okay, we got Phil. Okay, and there's Phil. Hello, Phil. How are you?
All right. Obviously doing better than you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm doing fine. Let me see here. Todd Moore is calling, and so I go to
The
Todd
pink
Moore.
blood is similar to getting a biopsy.
Wait a minute. I can't hear. Hold on a second. Let me get Todd in here. Here's Todd Moore. Okay, for Todd Moore, and then Jason. Oops. Wait a minute. We just lost Phil. We lost you. How did we lose you?
I don't know.
I don't know. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Phil is a scuba diver. Okay, there he is. There he goes. Okay, now, Jason, are you there? No, I guess Jason's not there. Okay, well, call back in, Jason, and we'll be happy to talk to you. What were you going to say, Phil?
When I had a biopsy, I peed blood for a couple of weeks, in with the urine.
Yes,
So
I know.
that
I've had a
probably
biopsy too.
different.
I had
Yeah. So planting the seeds, you said that you had blood for a couple of days, and
Well,
that would probably be normal.
it wasn't necessarily. Let me see here. There we go. There's Josh. Let me see here. Let me get him on here. Josh Wheeler. Wait a minute. There he is. Okay, we got him. Okay. Let me see here. And then Kevin is calling. Okay, Kevin. Are you there, Kevin?
Yep.
Okay. Josh, there's a fan or something going on there that's not is awfully loud. Let me see here. Let me go. 4 is Kevin, so that would be Hog Rider, and then Jason would be in the 6th spot, which would make him. Let me see here. What's his?
3 a.m.
3 a.m. Is it?
Yep.
Wait a minute. 3 a.m. There he is. 3
Hey,
a.m.
you weren't just having a feedback issue on your show, were you?
No.
Because the first time I called, I couldn't get through. I hurry up and went to gabnet.net and
Yeah.
I hit play, and it
Yeah.
was sound like it was like a loop keep on feeding back.
Wow.
That it was a 10-second delay, then the show
Yeah.
again, and
Oh well. No, we weren't having any problem that way, but
I just didn't know on the feed going out. Then if maybe there was an issue.
must have been you. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Todd Moore calling back again. Todd, are you okay? All right. Let me see here. Todd Moore. Is Todd there? Todd, are you there, Todd? Can you hear me? Huh.
I don't think you can limit the length of the show. It takes so long to get everybody on that
Well, no.
it won't be time for conversation.
Let me see here. Todd, are you there? No, he's gone. Here we go. Todd Moore again. And we hope that we have Todd
There he
Moore.
comes.
There
There he
we
is.
go.
There he
There's
is.
Todd. Okay, there we go.
Sorry.
What happened, Todd?
I was having that same sound problem like I had before.
Oh, okay. But you're not having it now.
I never have it right at the routine moment, but
Right.
I usually have it in a
Yeah.
little bit.
On top of everything, my eyes have been burning. So that adds to
You're starting to
everything.
feel the burn.
Huh? Yeah, I'm sorry to start with. Well, yeah, yeah, right. I'm feeling the burn.
Yeah, Bernie. Ah!
Yeah, well, don't go yay yet. It may be
Bernie's
too,
in Detroit tonight.
it may be too early to go yay, Bernie. You know, let me see here. Let me get Tony in here. Let me see here. Tony. Oh, there he is. Webhead. I always have to. If you people would just put your real names in there, and I wouldn't have to worry about this. Yes, yes, Todd.
My real name is Todd Moore, aka Magic Sir. I just wanted to apologize that I haven't been on in a while because my truck was stuck in the shop for many of days, and it cost me a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
This is the first day being out of the shop that I'm able to be in my truck, and it was horrible. But I don't want to complain or cry about it, but I just wanted to explain why that I have not been on the show.
Well,
Now, I'm
yeah.
trying to be on the show a lot.
No, that's fine with us. Anytime we can get you to call Todd, it's fine. You know, don't
Hey,
feel.
just be glad your truck wasn't in the chop shop.
Yeah,
But I like pissing on Phil.
yeah. My body was in the shop, and it cost me a fortune too, because these copays are killing me. You know.
What happened?
Huh?
What happened?
Well, I had an operation.
He had his prostate turned into a garden.
What?
You had the surgery you was supposed to have, right?
Yeah, right.
My
yeah.
dad had that. He's 80. So
I
yeah,
know.
Did they do good a job?
But what I'm beginning to find out is that insurance isn't exactly insurance because there are a whole bunch of copays added to the whole thing.
Wouldn't it be nice if we had universal health care?
Well, yes, of course.
Who said that?
There's one person who's talking about universal health care.
Well, or they're all, I think both of them are talking about healthcare. It's just they disagree on what type and what form it will
one
take.
person says we should have the for-profit health industry
Yeah.
still running everything. The other person says we should join the rest of the world and have single payer.
By the way, I'm wiping my eyes because they've been burning the last couple of days too. So anyway, what? Yes, Todd.
No, I'm saying, sorry to interrupt. I was saying let's do Cuba. We was talking about the healthcare.
Yeah.
Right?
I was saying, we, have some Cuban cigars,
Yeah,
chill out,
well, I
hang
mean,
out.
Cuba's very good at that. They have very good health care down there.
They
Yeah.
export doctors.
They export doctors.
They do.
So,
That's one of their biggest exports.
There's teeth on most Cubans.
What'd you say, Phil?
Did you ever see the? I've had a few friends that have gone to Cuba on photographic trips.
Yeah.
And the Cuban people seem to have really bad teeth.
So do the British.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I guess they both have.
Yeah, but we're talking about health care. We're not talking about dental care.
Well, usually one follows the other.
No.
You're healthy. Your teeth are not falling out of your
No,
head.
that's not true. That's not true, Phil. And you know it. Yes, yes, Jason.
So here we go back to this, and I've been bringing this up lately. You've talked about having dental insurance be treated kind of like health insurance.
Yes.
And I was there with you because I admit I look at somebody differently if they're missing teeth than I do somebody who has a good straight smile, straight white teeth. You look at them differently. But part of me was like, but is it really worth it? But then I have been going with an ordeal with a tooth of mine that's been going on for over a month now. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't eat for 3 days because of my tooth. It cracked on me and got infected.
Oh,
and it was horrible, excruciating pain.
And how much did it wind up costing you?
So far, it hasn't cost. Well, actually, so far it's cost me $250 to have a root canal, a half root canal.
Does your union have dental insurance?
Yeah, that's why it's only cost me $250 so far to have a root canal.
Yeah, well, I'm about ready to have a procedure in about 2 weeks, or no, not this week, but next week. That'll cost me about $1,600 because I'm having an implant. I'm having all these things that are disgusting happen to me all at once.
Yeah. That's where I'm almost debating about because my tooth is still irritating me. Even though I've had a root canal, there's still an infection in there. I'm at the point now where I'm almost saying, just pull the fucking tooth. Hopefully the, infection will seep out through where the tooth used to be or something. And, my mouth feels like it's all like somebody took a strap and they're wrenching my teeth all together right now. Yeah. And then I'm still a little bit numb and stuff.
Jason, did he give you an antibiotic for the infection?
They put me on 2 different antibiotics.
Wow. That's dangerous if you get an infection.
Can I say, Jason, the pain that you'll go through to have an implant and the amount of time that it takes to get, you're better off just take the antibiotics, get your app and done with it.
I was already on one antibiotic, and then they had me on 2 antibiotics.
We all go to one of two people whenever we're sick for advice. One is, of course, Phil Meyer, and the other one is Mike Pence. The 2 people I go to whenever I want, when I want medical advice. I said, should I have the prostate surgery? And Mike Pence wrote right back and said, no, believe in God. So I that was it.
He was a carpenter. He wasn't even a doctor.
I gave Jason some pretty good advice. If you don't need to get an implant, don't.
That's what I'm trying to avoid. But the guy who even did my root canal, he told me come back in 3 weeks to finish it. And he said it's still 50-50 because he was seeing some small hairline cracks or whatever. But yeah, I want to keep my tooth, but it feels like, the infection is still there. It was bad, man. I missed like 5 days of work because of it. Nuts.
Really?
I'm the type of person, I don't miss work. My attendance at work is excellent, but 5 days for my tooth, it was crazy.
So anyway, so far, I haven't gotten the latest bill, but so far my bills have come to something like $60,000. Oh. Yeah, and so I have copays. My copays are probably going to wind up costing me somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 or $600, but that's okay. If it saves my life, it saves my life. But the copays will kill you, right, Kevin?
You betcha. But I've got the thing that's good about me is I got the secondary is my Medicare, so.
The secondary is your Medicare?
That's kind of my supplemental, so it almost costs me nothing. My copays are $20, and that's all I ever see.
Well, you know what gets me? this is very interesting. I thought, okay, so this happens, and then all of a sudden I see there's $100 there that's being charged, and I call up my insurance. I say, "What's that for?" And they say, "Oh, that's for the use of the hospital." I said, "But it was added on to my visit to my doctor, my neurologist." They went, "Yeah, they charge for the hospital too."
But doesn't your Medicare cover that?
But it doesn't cover what is it, the copay, the copay on the hospital visit. See,
Well,
you get me?
Yeah, I guess. 'Cause see, mine's a little different because I'm under my wife's insurance,
Yeah,
and I get regular Blue Cross copay,
yeah.
and then all my other stuff is covered. All the
Yeah, well,
they
this
pay
is
the
a
80%,
this is a
and then
this
the other
is
20%
this is a
covered by
copay
the-
for my secondary, and also what was it? They were also charging me for. They were charging me. Well, I have a deductible, okay, that you have to meet every year. So my
Yeah,
deductible, I thought
that's
was
the first part of the year.
was
Yeah.
$250, okay, but that's for medical. There's
Yeah.
also hospital deductible. That's another $250. I didn't realize that. You have two kinds of deductibles. You have hospital deductible, and you have a physician or medical.
Yeah, see, I don't have
deductible.
that.
Yeah, and so that's $500. Now most people have $500 they have to pay anyway for deductible. But
Yeah.
Yes, Jason.
See, so you should probably vote against Bernie, because if he got in office and we had universal health care, that'd go away half your conversation.
Yeah.
You want to be
The
talking
first
about
half hour
paying
of your
anything.
show, right?
Well, number one, I don't think if Bernie were elected, he would get it done.
But you know
Okay.
what? Here's a point that I actually wanted to point out to you. You know, that how you've complained about before, how Obama right away when he went to Obamacare, like gave up and just said, okay, here's what we're going for. He didn't stick with, this is what I'm fighting for, and then maybe I'll negotiate down to what you want. He right away gave up and went to what Obamacare is now. So maybe look at Bernie as that's what he's doing. I'm not willing to give up anything yet. This is what I'm going to fight for. If I'm president, then I will whittle down and I'll negotiate to get something
But
better. than what we have.
Obamacare was a compromise. Yeah.
And it was a compromise before it should have ever been, because they didn't try to really hard push universal health care.
Well, I'll tell you who really screwed up. I was watching. There's a great documentary, by the way, if you get a chance to watch it on Hulu, called Hillary. It's 4 episodes, hour each, on Hillary Clinton, and it's very good. If you watch this, you might wind up having a whole different opinion of Hillary Clinton when you see her whole life laid out in front of you and what she's done and the kinds of advances she's made. But I looked at Girlfriend when I was watching this and got into the whole thing about, when Clinton tried to get health care going and he couldn't get it going. And his problem was he tried to do it in his first term. If he had tried it in his second term, he might have gotten it or gotten something close to it.
It was too soon, and then put her in too much control.
Yeah. It looks like Phil has the fatigue tonight.
He better.
Why are you lying back? Did we say something you didn't like?
No, I just want to participate in this part of the conversation. I was going to just let everybody else talk and lay back and listen.
It wasn't because I called you Dr. Phil. Huh?
It was part of it.
Oh, really? Oh, I was just kidding you, Phil, because every time
Phil,
every time
I do
somebody has a
appreciate
medical
your advice
problem, you
because
have the
you are
answer for it.
experienced.
What?
I do appreciate Phil's advice because he has experience in a lot of medical stuff. But Todd has his hand up.
Well, let's yes, Todd.
Yeah, I do got big ass hands. I just like picking on Phil. Phil darn well knows to behave himself when I'm on here. Ain't that right, Phil? What's up, dude?
Hey, hands up against the wall, Todd.
Really? You want to try that with me, you little punk? Oh, wait a minute. I guarantee you, I'll put you up against the wall, old man. Yeah. I got bigger guns than you do. Oh my goodness. Ooh. No, I'm not talking about those guns. I'm talking about real firearms, sir.
No, Phil, because if I get exhausted tonight,
Being threatened by a black man.
Yeah. Who's gonna save you now? Who's gonna save you?
Phil, I need you because if I get too tired tonight, I'm turning the show over to you.
Oh boy.
You know,
I got your back, Mr. Alex Bennett, sir. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you, my.
Yeah.
You know, I've been watching these YouTube things. I did a search on my vehicle, and there's a lot of people that outfit it to live in it or camp in it. And, Todd, lives in his truck when he's working. And, I was looking at these things. You can buy refrigerators, drawers that roll out, tents that go on the roof.
See, Phil, in appreciation of Todd, you should do an episode of Gabnet from your car.
Yeah, really.
In the back. Get a blow-up mattress, put it back there. And...
Yeah, it's all sorts of things you can do to make these things comfortable and good for camping and off-road. Now, I don't like camping, but
camping?
Might be interesting.
Now, if that's something Phil and I agree about, if there isn't some place with indoor plumbing, I'm not going there.
Oh, yeah. Well, they got showers.
Hey, Jeff, do you camp?
Toilets.
You see?
I said, do you camp? Or is that a Jewish thing? You guys don't camp?
No, I did it once or twice.
What do you mean? He's down in Florida right now.
I heard about the camping before.
No, he's
I'm falling for it again.
He's down in Florida right now. That's kind of like camping.
That's true. Pretty similar.
Yes, Todd.
I camp.
Thank you.
Do you really?
I love this. So, technically, I'm the only African American individual that likes to deep sea dive, skydive, camp, and do everything else. And none of you guys want to do any of that? And yes, born and raised in the Bronx, New York.
Tell me if there's an element of racism that I'm about to say, and then Kevin had his hand up. But is it true? Is it true that in general black people don't like swimming?
Why is that?
Or skiing?
Oh, okay, can I get this one?
Yeah, because you're the only black guy here. I'm not going to ask anybody else.
Well, oh God, it didn't. Okay, let me explain why. Okay.
Okay.
Back in the days, back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. The reason being was nobody allowed us to swim in pools or anything like that. So we never knew, hear me out, we never knew how to swim. We never knew how to learn to swim. Even I was in Virginia. And I was with a bunch of white people, and I went in the water, and all of a sudden, my phone dropped. And all of a sudden, they were like, "Oh no, you got to get out." I was like, "Seriously?" Yeah. So they don't ever want us to be in the water. I guess they think we're going to contaminate it or whatever.
This is the god awful truth. In Vegas, one time a black guy, this was back years ago, a black guy jumped in the pool, and they got him out of the pool, and then they drained it.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
And refilled it. That's how racist people were. Yes, Kevin had his hand up, and then Jason. Yes, Kevin. Kevin, you had your hand up earlier?
No, he was asking who does camping.
Oh, and you do camping. Jason.
I do camping in a fifth wheel trailer with plumbing and heaters and everything else.
Yeah.
It's called glamping.
Glamping.
You
Yes.
just got to remember, I live in Detroit.
Yeah.
I don't lay on the ground no more.
Well, me neither. I got my high-end air mattress, Queen.
It's got to be a TV involved. I got my dish, satellite, and all that.
So, but I live in Detroit, man, and there is a problem, with people in Detroit can't swim. And, we're surrounded by water. There's no, it's not a public pool or anything.
Yeah,
it's a beach and stuff you can go to.
The reason is it'd be hell to drain Lake Michigan. Okay.
Well, St. Clair and Huron and
yeah.
But it's a problem. I don't know. It's just the parents don't take kids, when they're in the inner city to the water period to learn how to swim because it's so often you end up hearing about, people in the inner city of Detroit going to the beach and drowning and stuff. It's like, it kills me, but you're surrounded by water and they don't, a lot of the black people around here can't swim.
Todd?
Well, my
Global
mother
warming, you're screwed.
Nation.
Wait.
Well, to answer his question, yes, a lot of that does happen. I'm from the Bronx, and yes, I go out to your place all the time, your state. I love your state, by the way. And yeah, it happens a lot of times because it's not about the parents not teaching us how to swim. It's like I was saying that there's not places that we can go to swim at
No,
the
you
time.
can't say that in Detroit. Detroit's 80% black. 80%.
And I really can't say a whole lot because I'm on here right now about all of the people that I have in Detroit. But yeah, I could say it pretty much everywhere that there's a lot of places that we might not feel comfortable because we was always trained not to go swim and go do other things. That's the nice way I could put it for Detroit. But in New York and everything like that, in the past, I mean, think about it. Okay, hold on. How many New Yorkers we got right here? I'm looking at. Okay, now when we all were in New York, how many African American individuals did you see in the pool with you, or did you see if they were comfortable or uncomfortable? Think about it. I'm talking about the ones I'm looking at right now.
There was only one black family in my neighborhood, and they were had to be 100 years old.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Ergo, that makes them not dangerous.
Yeah,
exactly.
Thank you. And their last name was Cotton. How you know?
Really?
Yeah, really.
My
I'm
mother
up to
wanted us to
late,
go in the
Phil.
public
Yeah,
pool.
Tony, you had something you wanted to say?
Yeah,
That's Walnut Creek for
I
you.
forgot the name of the park that we went picnicking once. I'd have to ask my mother. It's in Long Island. And they had like a pool. It was a family pool. My mother never let us go in the public pool because she says they piss in the pool and shit in the pool. You're not going in the pool. She says, don't even think about it.
Hey, that park is
My other
called
cousins going in. We never wanted
Way.
it. She says, that's disgusting in there.
Tony.
That's a cesspool.
That park is called Long Island Expressway.
That might be too, but she never let us go in. I forgot what the name of the park it was. I can ask her. But they had like a pool you can go in, just eat the barbecue, and then we're going home. We're not going in the pool.
Yeah, but you don't think there's chlorine in the water? Everybody, listen.
I don't want to.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. Everybody pees in the pool.
No.
No, because you hit the cold water and you can't help yourself.
There's a name for that, but it's a natural reaction to pee when you hit cold water.
She was like all the germs.
Is that called old age or something?
No.
No. In his case, it's called prostate problems.
Yeah.
I've never had the urge to pee in the pool.
Shit.
You know something? I feel good. I got to keep mine.
That's true.
You know, it's been beaten up pretty good, but I got to keep mine.
So far.
Well, wait a minute. You got to keep your prostate, Alex?
Yeah.
It's a garden now. They planted seeds.
Well, they just radiated me a lot. No, I'll get to keep it, Phil. You know, they won't.
I gotta ask though.
What?
When you turn off the lights, do you glow in the dark down there?
Well, I pulled a little joke last night on Marjorie. Let me see if I can do it with you guys.
Did you hang a mirror down there and look?
I said, I don't really know what kind of effect that this whole thing had on me.
Yeah, a neon light or something.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Try and read a book or something.
I don't know if there was any problem here.
No, you don't have to do it.
Oh, God, really? Come on, man.
Got a flashlight.
Is the flashlight on?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where the
Now.
On though.
Did you do that to her?
It's there it is. What? Yeah.
Did you put it down there and then spread your legs and show it to her?
Yeah, right.
Look at here.
Has anyone noticed that now Alex's promos have gone to fart noises?
Yeah. It also said I go on at 10 o'clock, but no, but you know, I mean, It was an adventure, I'll tell you. But I didn't have to have the what do you call it?
Prostate
The garden hose. What's it called?
catheter.
Catheter. Didn't have. I had a catheter, but it was taken out before I left the hospital.
Yeah. Well, mine was left in to allow you the urethra to reattach because they sew it up and the catheter actually goes into your bladder.
I don't know why they do it for my procedure, but it is part of the procedure. They do it and then they keep it in there until you can move your legs. This is why I'd love to hear from Patrick tonight, because I feel a certain camaraderie with Patrick, because
Yeah,
I
he
was.
hangs this on his Christmas tree and shit.
Well,
doesn't
wait a
he?
minute, wait a minute. I was dead from the waist down,
Yeah,
and I
that
know
sucks.
now what that's like.
That sucks.
And really, I mean, I tried to move my feet, and I couldn't move my feet. Oh, this
Yes,
was
it has to
this
be
is the worst
temporary.
part.
They
Well,
had to do that for my knee surgery.
here we go with me losing my monetization tonight.
But it was only temporary that you couldn't feel your feet. With Patrick, it's never going to change.
It's never going to change, but I know what it's like.
You get to know what it's like. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I got to know what it was like. But one other thing happened.
Kind of.
When they put in the catheter, in order that I would not have pain, they also numbed the area.
A nerve block. Yeah.
So when I'm trying to feel down to see if I'm starting to get any feeling back in my legs, and I am a little bit, and I move over and I touch my, I'll say Fwalambuebwe, then I won't lose my monetization. I touch my penis, and I couldn't feel it. It was dead.
Oh my God.
And I went, what the hell's this about? She says, oh, no, that was because they put anesthetic in there so that it wouldn't hurt. I went, oh, thank you. But now I can't even feel it, and I'm used to feeling it.
They want you to make it work.
I
What?
started first injection today. I got Victoza, which is a new diabetes drug for me, and you have to inject it into your stomach in the morning. And
Oh, that's
it
pleasant.
wasn't. It's like an EpiPen, and you change the needle on. And
Yeah, I've been doing that one for a couple of years now.
yeah, it was okay until I had some tom yum soup in a Thai restaurant this afternoon, and then my sugar went up through the roof. But they have a really
Phil,
low
why
dose.
don't you just cut sugar out of your life?
It's like it's hard.
I thought it was, but I
Let
ordered
me
some
be
soup and a
Dr.
cucumber salad.
Alex. Let me be Dr. Alex for a moment. Why in the world, knowing what's wrong with you, do you keep doing sugar?
It's very addictive.
Yes, it's very addictive, and it's going to kill you, Phil.
Yeah.
And as much
Yeah.
as we argue and we debate, and you get mad at me, and then you get huffy and puffy and don't talk, and then we make up and all that. I don't want to see you not here some night because you died of too much sugar. You know?
You'll be giving his eulogy.
This new thing, for one reason or another, you don't feel like eating as much, and you're supposed to lose weight. Did you lose weight, Kevin, on your
Little bit.
a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have cravings for sugar or for food as much now that you're doing
Make
it?
any difference?
Todd
No.
wants to say something. Yes, Todd.
Yeah, Phil, you really need to stop all of that crazy food you eating. I used to be a chef, and I mean, if you want, man, whenever I get out of the truck, I can hook you up with some good food, and I can cook a lot of good stuff that all of it you're not gonna like, but I'm gonna love cooking it all for you.
That's nice.
Phil,
Thanks.
all you got to do is, I mean, I went on a literally almost no carb diet, and I ate just fine. You just got to you got to look at the label on stuff and see if there are any carbs there, and if there are carbs, to see how many of them are from sugar and how many of them are from dietary from fiber. And if most of them is from fiber, then you got low carbohydrate stuff. Pistachio nuts you can have.
I eat out morning, noon, and night. And that's the problem.
Well, you can
You
eat
know?
out and you can order what's right. I went to restaurants all the time, but I would order some meat, and I would order some greens, some lettuce, and things like that. But Phil, I mean, you shouldn't have to be taking Victoza. You should be able to not be taking in sugar. And what are you doing? You're taking a drug because you don't have the willpower to not have stuff. So,
That's
good.
what
I'm
the
going to go out and
doctor
have a
said.
hot fudge sundae. Okay, now I'm going to stick myself in the gut with a medicine. I mean, come on.
The doctor said. But
Hmm?
Kevin, do you find that you can control your sugar levels without a drug just by eating non-carb? I mean, if I breathe in the air too much, I get carbs. Yeah.
Mine's a different situation
Oh.
because it's more related to my antibiotic toxicity thing.
I see.
You see, I mean, David
Well,
Letterman
Phil, if
had.
you went on Atkins before and lost weight and your sugar went right, you just gonna stick to it.
I stuck to it for 5 years, but if you
Or how long ago was that? That wasn't recently.
no, it was like 2005.
So, and see, you know what you can do, and you know you've done it before, and you tried it recently though, and it was working. You couldn't stick to it because you like your sweets.
Well, I was gaining weight recently, but I wasn't going off my diet, and I wondered why. And then it turned out it was the pills I've been taking for my neuropathy. So I've stopped taking them, and I'm losing weight again. But you got to be careful because a lot of times medicine you take will cause you to gain weight.
Well, and Jason's sitting there stuffing his face with Heath bars and Kit Kats.
But
It's
how?
a nutty buddy, and I am at my lowest weight I've actually been in a while. It's kind of weirding me out because I haven't been trying to lose weight.
Really? Son of a bitch. My friend
What's your
my
weight,
friend
man?
my friend Shecky for a while was losing weight and not eating a lot. So the doctor sent him in for a bunch of tests, and in 2 days he had a colonoscopy and a what's the one that goes down your throat?
And
Endoscopy. And I just want they should have done them at the same time and seen if they could see each other,
if they do, you got a problem.
And isn't it funny? The colonoscopy goes in your end, but the endoscopy doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little joke. Thank you very much.
Yep. It's a different boom.
My timing's off lately.
Yeah, it is.
Doesn't make sense.
I'm surprised I'm getting through this show tonight without falling asleep.
I'm surprised too, Alex.
Oh, here comes Rob Alfano. Hey, Roberto. Let me see here.
Hey, now I'm gonna hang up real quick because my screen is all goofed up and I cannot figure out. So I want to close out Skype altogether and call back in.
Oh, you call back in? Okay, we'll leave We'll leave your
2
picture
seconds.
there. But let me
All right.
go get Rob on the line here. Let me see here. Rob Alfano. Where is he? Where is he? What name are you using? Oh, there he is. Okay, there we go. Boom, boom. Let me see here. And then I got to go boom. And then we go like that. And there's Rob. Hello, Rob. How are you?
Good, very good. How you doing?
Fine.
How you feeling?
Well, I decided to do a show tonight. I haven't been on all week because I've had this incredible fatigue. And I still have it, but I just felt I had to do a show tonight just to say hi to everybody, But please
I've
excuse
been
me.
listening for a bit, and I heard Phil talking about not being able to keep his carbs down, and that Dr. Fung stuff. I'm telling you, I've lost 30 pounds now since the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
I sent that to my nutritionist, and she loved that guy.
What is
Yeah,
this?
well,
what is it?
His name is Dr. Jason Fung, and he has a YouTube channel. And he actually Thanksgiving Day, my brother had my family over, and my cousin brought a new date, and it was a doctor. And we're sitting around and we're eating stuffing and mashed potatoes and sweet potato pie and you name it. And he's talking about this thing that he believes in to because I was pre-diabetic, my last doctor's visit, which no diabetes is in my family, and my cholesterol is through the roof and this and that. And he said, you want to get rid of all that, just keep your carbs low and practice intermittent fasting. You can do it by giving yourself an 8-hour window in a day where you eat, and so you're fasting 16 hours a day. Or you can that's the way to get into it. I eat one meal a day, so I'm fasting anywhere between 20 and 22 hours a day. And it is really, really healthy for your body. I can tell you, I've been struggling right around September. I didn't go to Germany with my wife because I've been dealing with so much anxiety in my life, and I just, that's all disappeared. I had no idea that was going to happen. I think clearly now when I talk to my customers, the clarity of my thoughts is completely different. It's like I'm a different person. I mean, it's amazing.
What's his name? What's the doctor's name?
Dr. Jason Fung, F-U-N-G.
Wow.
Yeah,
And he has a couple of books out, and I bought one of his books on Amazon while I was in New York. I had it waiting for me when I got back to Virginia after the Thanksgiving holiday. Read through that book pretty quickly, and then Sunday night, that was it. I had my last meal Sunday night, and then I started on the fasting on Monday. And the most fasting I've done has gone 3 days without eating. It takes a little getting used to, but think about what human beings were designed for, the way our ancestors were. Exactly. And you don't know where your next meal is coming from. You're going out and hunting it. And it's big food and big pharma that doesn't like this because there's no drugs involved and because you're not eating snacks every 10 minutes like they want you to do. There's a lot to be said for this. So I read through the book. My wife's doing it. I'm doing it.
I found the greatest snacks with absolutely zero carbs at Costco. And I usually didn't like this particular snack because there was never one that was really good. But it's this brand, and I can't remember the name of it now.
Autumn Gold?
No, of pork rinds.
My wife said I can't eat pork rind because I think about it's fried fat, and
But if you actually look at pork rinds and you see the calorie count on it, the calorie count is low. Everything is low about it. The only thing that's high is sodium.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, I can't, like, I love pork rinds. I only love my Better Made. It's a Detroit brand pork rinds. They are so fucking good.
I can't remember the name of this
rinds,
stuff.
I can't even.
But these are very good. These are very good. You know.
I just know what I'm eating. It's like fat that's been deep fried, and I gag on it.
Yeah.
No, you should try some Better Made pork rinds.
It's not that. It's, you know what? It's not the taste. Because it tastes, it's just like a crunchy snack.
By the way,
it's light and fluffy. It's not greasy at all.
There's a Filipino food called lechon, which is basically pork and fried, and I love it.
Hey, the black guy's got his hand up. They know about pork. Go ahead.
I don't eat pork.
Oh.
I was gonna say, like,
no, I choose not to. I'm not Muslim or nothing like that. I just refuse to eat that. I used to be a chef, and I'm really good with like seafood. And my favorite thing that I used to do was cod. But as far as the pork rinds and stuff like that, yeah, they're really good. But yeah, they're a clogger. They really mess you up inside. And I would advise all of us for our ages to just leave that alone.
You know who we haven't
actually, if you look at the nutritional facts on pork rinds, it's almost nothing except for it's high in sodium because the way they make them. But pork rinds, the cholesterol, the saturated fat, everything's really low.
Hold on, everybody. We haven't heard from two people tonight. I haven't heard, I think, a word out of Josh tonight.
He's quiet.
Is there anything that you want to talk about?
So far, what you've been talking about, no. I mean,
okay. What area could we get into that you would be interested in talking about tonight?
I mean, there's a few things whatever everybody wants. I don't want to tell everybody they have to talk about anything else.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You got anything political? Come on, let's go.
Has anything political been going on?
Elizabeth Warren, a sore loser. You know, she's saying that it's because she's that I think it's because she's not very likable. But
Yeah, I think America's sexist.
Well, I think there is a definite sexism when it comes to electability.
But I also do think if she was more of a centrist, she would have. Amy Klobuchar didn't have it. If she was more of a centrist, and she would actually have been probably doing a lot better. But
she wasn't genuine, and
no, I think she is very genuine.
Yeah, why
It's just
I think she's genuine. I just don't like what I see. You know, I'm not. She just didn't.
What? What do you not like? And that's what kills me. You say you don't think Bernie is genuine or you don't think he's sincere, but he's been the same person for the last 40 years.
Yes, he's been the same thing for the last 40 years. And from what I understand, from even other politicians who are Democrats, I've seen interviews with them who say, personally, Bernie is the world's biggest asshole.
Who fucking cares? I'm an asshole. I'm still a lefty.
Trump.
I'm a fucking big ass prick. People fucking hate me. They think I'm a dickhead, but I'm still a fucking lefty. I'm still a progressive.
But we like you. Bernie is. You know what Bernie is? Bernie is. Who's the guy? Who was the guy in Network?
Network.
Yeah.
I am not going to take it anymore.
Yeah, that's who he is. You know. Yeah. Yes. What, Rob? What are you moving your head like that for?
Bernie is no different than Trump on the other side. He's a radical. What happened
He's
to
experienced. He has experience. He's
you know
he
what?
may have experience. Okay, so he's not going to be making the same gaffes that Trump is and being a dumbass and doing shit that he's not supposed to do.
No. I'm not comparing him to Trump in that regard. I'm comparing him to Trump in his views. Trump is radical right, and Bernie is radical left.
Okay,
and
isn't it time though?
No, it's not time to be
radical. It is time though, because we've been doing it their way for so fucking long, and it's not working.
And that's you're exactly that's exactly true. What you're saying is exactly true, and that's the reason why people don't want centrists. People who have common sense. To me, I watched every Bloomberg because I'm not paying attention to the news, but we're getting bombarded with not anymore because he's out. But the Bloomberg, the guy at least has a mind. The guy at least is not all left. He's not all right. He's it's not all.
No, yeah. What is he today?
Trump wants to take everything away, and Bernie wants to give you everything. So there's got to be some middle ground. Most Americans are in the middle. They're not one or the other. Why is it that we are going to have two candidates who are going to be polar opposites? What kind of crap? And he'll get nothing done as a president because it's just like Trump. He's not going to get anything done now with a Congress. Even I don't care if we get the Senate or not. If he gets reelected, he's not going to get anything done. And Bernie is not going to get anything done either because he's not even a Democrat. So the Democrats aren't going to give him any real cooperation either.
Todd's got his hand up.
Heart attack if you don't call him.
Yes, Todd.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with my man on everything about Bernie. The thing that I noticed about Bernie is he's trying to do something different than a lot of other people, which is that's great. And I commend him about that. And yes, everybody here that knows me knows I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter. Okay.
Yeah.
But I do see and I understand how that everybody went to Biden. And they're trying to do what they're doing, just like they did last time when Bernie was going against Hillary. So I got news for everybody here on this panel. And what's his goofy ass name right there? The one with the guns. What's it? My man, Phil. That's it, Phil. Okay, look, I'm not following you, Phil. I'm not doing that. What I am is now not a Democrat. And I'm not a Republican. I'm neither. I'm nothing, no more. No. I used to be, or whatever my dad and my family are. I refuse to be anything.
Phil, you said some very nasty things about Elizabeth Warren. Why do you feel a need to say nasty things about Elizabeth Warren since she isn't running anymore?
Because she's a nasty person.
She's nasty. The eyes.
Now, come on, but you here you go. You back Trump. There's nobody nastier than Trump. Politics aside, how do you even say that with a straight face, knowing that Trump is like the nastiest person alive? And I'm not talking about anything. Oh, come on! He fights with anybody. He'll call women anything.
Let me give him an example.
Bloomberg did that.
Well, Phil, let me give you an example of that. Today, she's out of the race, right? She's gone. She's finished. She's finito. Trump is asked about it, and he goes after Elizabeth Warren. Oh, she's a terrible, horrible person. I mean, now's the time to go, hey, she's not in the race anymore. Let's move on, you know? But no, he feels he has to, like, kick somebody when they're down, when they're not any threat to him or anything else.
He's not a quality person. Doesn't really have any. He's not a quality human. He's just not. I don't care if he had I don't care if he was a Democrat. I wouldn't. He's not a quality individual.
I don't understand how America. I don't understand how America has allowed him to call her Pocahontas. If she claimed that she was part black, would it be acceptable for him to call her Aunt Jemima?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Exactly. Phil, what's your answer to that?
He didn't call her Aunt Jemima. She claimed to be an Indian, and she wasn't.
She said
a
she
Native American.
And did you hear what he said?
She's phony. She used.
Okay, hey Phil. I don't
wait a minute. And Trump
used to her advantage to get a job, and she wasn't.
She is a citizen of the Cherokee Nation.
She is not.
Yes, she is. She is born and raised Oklahoma. She's a citizen. I believe it's the Cherokee Nation. But Phil, just hypothetically, say she said she was part black and it was proven that it was wrong. Would it be okay for him to call her Aunt Jemima?
I don't think that he would have gone there, but he had
But it's okay for another nationality. It's okay because it's not a black person; it's a brown person.
And why is it? Why? Here's one other question.
Make fun of her because of that.
Here's one other question I have, Phil. Why is it, Phil? Why is it that he always seems to go after women harder than he does against men?
Hey, if I would have said that I claim that I'm a German Shepherd.
Wait a minute. You didn't answer my question, Phil. I asked you a question. I asked you a question. Phil, I asked you a question.
If he saw me, he'd bark. All right? What's wrong
Phil, I asked you a question. You're not answering it.
Ask again, because I thought I did.
Now I forgot what it was. Yes, Todd.
I got you, Alex. He said a German Shepherd. You know what my father fought in? He fought against the Nazis, and then you're going to say a German Shepherd? Watch what you say, bro. Say something again. Say it. I dare you. Say it again.
Legs and a tail.
He does.
Really? But then, no, but we would go with the black and this, that, and the third with the...
That you're overly sensitive. You are waiting and baiting and waiting for somebody.
Phil, be honest. Do you not think that's racist? Baiting. Do you not think it's racist for him to call her Pocahontas?
Of course it is.
So why is that
Native
acceptable?
American in my family.
Because it's not a certain race, so it's acceptable.
So would you say that Trump is
himself up for it?
Would you say Trump was a racist then?
Would be. Everybody's racist. Everybody is racist in one way or another.
But to be
everybody,
no, but some people are overtly racist, and other people have racist concepts in them that they don't understand are racist. Would you agree with that, Todd? Yeah.
Say what's on their mind. They hold it in and they look at you in the face and say, "Oh, you're a Jew." But you know what?
He's done talking all that.
But you know what, Phil? If the person who's bagging your grocery at the grocery store says, "Oh, you're a fucking Jew," but I'm still putting your groceries in the grocery bag and doing the service right, that's where it should be, and not sitting there and be like, "Hey, Jew boy, fuck you! I ain't putting your groceries in the bag."
Want to bag my groceries? They usually under the bag.
it would be very interesting if we had a president who was on the right, on the left, and he was as outspoken and racist and made comments the way Trump does, how Phil would feel about that.
I'd say sticks and stones break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Oh, come on, Phil.
Gas chambers will.
Sensitive.
Yes,
I'm not talking about
Todd.
biggest, I'm not a,
Hold on a second. Todd has his hand up. Todd.
All right, let me explain something. And if I believe correctly, I'm looking at everyone on the panel.
Mm-hmm.
And I do mean everyone, including your fucking ass, Phil, too. That we all were in a situation that we were all in a situation that was horrible or incarcerated or treated like slaves in one form or another. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
At different points in time. We're all American. We're all Democrats or fucking Republicans. Okay? We're all the shit now. Okay? So, you know what? Let's all just get along and we can get your punk ass. I grab him by the pussy president, fuck him out of here, because he needs to go. Because I really don't like him.
By the way, there's a guy here.
I love you, Phil, but I don't like your boy. They grab you by the pussy, and I can't get away with that. I can't get away with doing that because if I grab somebody, I'm getting incarcerated. Look at all the put up. I get incarcerated. I'm going to jail. I can't do the same thing that the president of the United States
not
does.
Celebrity. He said that he could do that, or celebrities do that because
I am like the bad shit. Okay,
Phil, quit. You know, I really get disappointed with you in what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to excuse bad behavior.
Yeah.
You know, when he does something bad, you should be willing to say, "Hey, that really doesn't make me feel comfortable." But I can't believe you feel comfortable with everything this jerk says.
We had a couple of Republicans that ran for president that every time somebody would hit them, they would just take it. They wouldn't fight back, and they ended up losing. Trump is the kind of guy that says, if you hit me, I'm going to hit you back 10 times harder. And you guys just don't.
No, you know what that is? You know what that's the mentality of, Phil? A thug. A thug. A thug.
I like that thug. And I like the fact that he stands up. And
you like thugs. You like thugism.
But then you turn around. But Phil, then you turn around and you judge Elizabeth Warren, saying she's a nasty person. Yeah. If that's okay on one side, why isn't it okay for her?
Because she's a woman.
She's whining.
See, women whine. Women whine.
Let me tell you something. What she's whining about is that she's a woman, and therefore she's a fair shake.
Okay.
Well,
so
but Phil, it's absolutely true. I watched this documentary tonight. I'll get to you in a second there, Todd.
Yeah. Is that the one that Clinton said that he had to screw Monica Lewinsky in order to get over his depression?
That you'll have to watch the whole thing to find out exactly what he said, Phil. But anyway, they did talk about that for the first time, and he did apologize basically to Monica Lewinsky and felt sorry for what happened to her, and that it was sad that the press jumped on her and everything like that. But anyway, in this documentary, they show where, as a woman running for office, they were doing things to her they would never think of doing to a guy or saying to a guy. I mean, people in the audience with a poster that read, "Iron my shirts," crap like that, and which is, it were the Trump fans, believe it or not, who were doing that sort of thing to her. And it was a very sexist attitude about her running for president, and that she couldn't win because she was a woman. Anyway,
there are women leaders all over the world. There's a woman leader,
except in America.
Except in America,
the third highest ranking person in government is a woman, Pelosi, and
the third, but not the first.
Well, it just takes time.
Oh, really?
You had a Catholic president, you had a black president, You almost had a Jewish president. You know,
You'll never have a Jewish president. You'll have a female
Because
president.
all the Jews will vote against him.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I like that.
it's unfortunate. Most Jews are liberal pansies, and they'll probably vote.
What?
Most of the Jews in this country are ashamed to be Jewish, and they don't stand up and fight like the Israelis do.
Yeah, but my father always used to say, you know what the definition of a kike is?
A Jew that's left the room.
Yes. A nice Jewish gentleman who's left the room. That same joke can be said about the N-word, but I wasn't going to do that here because
Well, said, Alex, go ahead. Don't get scared. Say.
He doesn't want to lose his monetization.
Do you lose your monetization for using that word? No.
Probably, yeah.
I'm family.
What if you are talking about your knee growing?
Huh? What were you saying?
So, what if you were talking about your knee growing?
My knee growing? It's well, I always found Negro a very fun. I always found the term Negro a funny term because when I was a kid, that's what I was taught to call black people was a Negro. If I called a Negro a black person, they would be upset by that because that term was not considered positive at that time. Now, this is way back in the Stone Age, okay?
Yeah, but then you have some terms out there for organizations that still exist, like the United Negro College Fund and the NAACP, which stands for Colored People.
Yeah.
So I mean, right? It's very odd that those
I could never figure out why the NAACP didn't change their name. You know, because if you go up and say, if I go to Todd and I say, Todd, you're one of those colored people, you know.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm colored.
But I
know.
always found Negro a funny
not MD 4040.
Well, I found Negro a funny term because it was always the conciliatory term that they used to use, you know. You know, I mean, back in those days, a black person was a Negro. That's what you called them. You didn't call them anything else, you know. So times change, but hey, people want to be called something else, then you go along with that because you honor them as human beings. Yes, Todd.
I claim German Shepherd, you know? See the tail?
Todd?
Yeah, thank you, Alex. To answer the questions about any of the thing that's African or the thing with all the other stuff, what the lovely part with me was, a lot of people don't know. They really never really care to ask.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a third-degree black belt. I fight in different forms. I'm very familiar with Phil, with the deep sea diving. I don't know. I maybe thought he does some skydiving, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't jump in airplanes.
Oh, really? Okay, well, good to know. Okay, well, then that's me.
Jump in the ocean, but not in the airplanes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Well, but I do a lot of things different than a lot of African-American individuals do. So when I hear, you know, about different names and stuff like that, I never get upset or never get mad. I'm from New York City, the Bronx. I miss it. Unfortunately, my father, retired police officer from New York, decided to move to Virginia, and now I'm stuck there.
We're in Virginia.
Was stuck in Virginia. Yeah, Virginia, Chesterfield, Virginia, where my dad's at.
You're 2 hours away from me.
Exactly. I'm an over-the-road truck driver, and I broke down 3 days in Texas, Dallas. Ooh, real nice right here. Only problem is, man, there's a lot of women that I'm trying to be a gentleman about. Oh, man, when I was broke down, oh, bro, I wish all y'all was with me. You would have seen these lovely ladies. Yeah, okay, the ones that don't have women or wives, yeah, please, sit there with me for a minute.
I never been broke down, but I've been broke ass.
Well, you're still a broke ass, and you are broke down, so you could have hang and chilled, smart ass. How's that? And I still want my weapons.
None of this is making sense to me. I want you to know that about these women in Dallas and stuff, you know.
Thank Thank you very much for helping me out, Alex.
You didn't grab him by the.
I'm not disrespectful, sir.
Okay.
No.
See?
Yeah. Yeah. What? You grab him with ooh.
You know, to change the subject a little bit, to keep it on Todd, though, I saw this truck that people. It was a Freightliner, and it had a 20-foot living space in it with a kitchen, bathroom, shower. It looked like an RV inside. It was beautiful.
Super tractor.
Yeah.
$500,000 super tractor. Has a shower. It has a shower, bathroom. It has a big bed.
Conversion.
Yeah. Flat screen on the wall, and let me guess, it had a big chandelier on the top.
Yeah. It was pretty neat, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to get one of them, but I don't have $500,000 to get one.
Just write a check.
Yeah.
Well, I live in the truck I have now. All my stuff is
with 3 minutes left, what do you think about Chris Matthews bailing?
He was fired.
Yeah, he was fired.
Fired bailing.
What did he say that caused the uproar?
I really don't know, but I think that it's kind of crappy of MSNBC after 30, 40 years of service to that network to suddenly
I was working
dismiss
the
him.
elections, and I came back to find out about it. So
Yeah.
I didn't know much about it until today, really.
I got this new headgear from the hospital.
It's very pretty.
Let me take it home. Yeah.
Keeps the shine away.
Yeah, it sure does. But anyway, yeah. No, we'll probably talk about that next week. What they did to Chris Matthews, I think, was terrible.
I think it was shitty.
They let him say goodbye.
Yeah, but I mean,
He chose to walk off. But he did. He chose to walk off the show. But they let him have his piece.
Yeah. Well,
I think he was just trying to save his pension.
Yeah, but I just think there was something very wrong with that. Yes, Todd.
Yeah, it was.
2
I enjoyed
seconds.
watching him.
Yeah, that sucks, and I hope they decide to figure out how to get his ass back or try to fix that. But I just wanted to say, hopefully you guys will be nice if I can get my father, that's 80 years old, come on here and join the panel if it's okay with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to try to see if I can get him to come.
Yeah.
He's more political than I am.
Oh, okay.
If you're
he's not gonna like you, Phil. I'm just letting you know. I know he's gonna be real nasty.
Okay, okay. We've only
got
got a minute left before I roll the theme. But
minute left.
yes, but I want to say a few things before I go. Jeff, do you have any last words?
Yeah, I wanted to say one thing.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about Trump and the problems with some of these presidential potential people.
Yeah.
The one thing that I don't like about Mr. Trump is he's a fucking liar. And a continuous liar.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's a lie between friends? Come
on.
What's
a lie between friends? And also, Josh, anything? Any last words? You haven't said anything tonight, really.
No, I mean, a little off topic for me for a while, and I don't know, certain things it's hard to have a conversation with certain people about, because if you don't think what they think, they're just gonna fucking tell you you're supposed to be thinking what they're thinking. So sometimes it's not worth our.
That's when you tell them to fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And that's what happened to his monetization tonight.
Yeah, well, my monetization went to hell. But Josh, when the next time you call, I will give you like 10 minutes of your own. How's that? Without anybody being able to judge what you're saying. Jeff, thank you. Todd, great talking to you. Phil, great having you here. Josh, always good having you here. Not enough for my blood. Kevin, thank you so much. Jason, have a nice night. Tony, good seeing you here. And Rob, always wonderful seeing you here. Everybody, would you give them a big wave goodbye, and I'll wave back at you, okay?
Get some rest, feel better.
Okay, I'm going to try and be back here next week. Yes, hopefully next week I can come back and be my full self once again. This show is over, and so is the Citizen Panel, and I am shutting down my Skype so that Jack Bishop can use it next on The Intersection, which is next over most of this same GabNet. As I say, I will see you perhaps at 10:30 on Tuesday if I'm feeling up to it, and I hope that I will be. And in the meantime, everybody have a nice weekend. And as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.